I'm 32, and the decisions I made in my 20s were pivotal to put me in the position I am today. In this video, I'm gonna give you 10 tips to not waste away your 20s. When you're in your early 20s, we tend to believe that the friends we have around us, the people in our circle, are gonna be there forever. And the harsh reality is that as you go through life and your goals evolve, you want to make the best decisions for you. And likewise, your friends and the people in your circle want to make the best decisions for them. There's going to be times where that starts to fall apart and your group starts to shift. There's going to be times where you might feel alone because you are following through with what you believe is going to be the best route for you. And I just want to tell you guys that when I think back throughout my 20s, I've had different groups of friends. Thankfully, I still have my group that has kind of been through a lot of those phases, but that's not going to be the case for everybody. And I think if I could give advice to you, it's going to be, you have to be okay with people just wanting to do what's best for them and have the maturity to support them, and ultimately the most maturity to know you have to do what's best for you in this life and go down the path that is gonna bring you closest to your goals. Whatever those goals might be for you, do not shrink your goals to try and maintain relationships, because those will change. This next one's gonna be arguably the most important thing you need to hear in your 20s. Who you pick to be your partner has the most impact on your future. For me, I'm gonna make this relative to my story. When I met Heidi, we were both at the very start of our entrepreneurial journey, right? We had both just started our companies. We were both just fully focused on building our own things, and she was focused on building her own thing, and we were going full speed in our own paths. And when we met, it worked because of that. And we complemented each other because we had so much in common, but we found that we were able to build a relationship while continuing on our own paths. I have goosebumps, look at that. Because that if it wasn't meant to be, in the sense of if I was on this path and this person was X person, use X, was needing way more attention or this, or pulling me away or just, rightfully so, just wanting something different in a relationship, that would have deviated me from my path. Or if I would have deviated X person from their path because of things that I needed. If you notice those discrepancies and you notice that you're caught day after day or week after week, just running through so many emotional up and downs and problems, and it's just not something you can really see in your future, you have to be quick to cut it. And you have to, and I know a ton of people are scared to be on their own. Really, I think a lot of people in their 20s rush into relationships due to the fear of being alone. But if you're not for sure gonna see that future, then I recommend cutting it and focusing on what you have and on your path. Don't let relationships, I don't wanna call them bad relationships, but incompatible relationships, slow you down, waste your 20s, and all of a sudden you're gonna be in your 30s, you're gonna be like, damn, I wasted a lot of time on that person. There was red flags from the beginning and I just didn't wanna listen to myself. Listen to yourself, listen to your gut, have the tough conversations, try to work through things. If they don't work, cut, focus on your own thing, and when the next person comes and you align and it clicks, that's how you know you're on the right path. Two things, the Raw Nutrition Black Friday sale just went live. You can get 40% off all supplements. 40%'s a lot off of supplements. Also, the chocolate replenish that I take every morning in my coffee is 75% off. So definitely go stock up, use code Guzman to get that discount. Second thing, Alfleet Black Friday is also in full effect. Link in bio. Third thing, 3D Energy Amazon, 20% off, $1.73 a can. Also linked in the bio. Summer shredding, if you want to sign up for next year, we already have almost 200 people signed up and it's not even 2026. Take advantage right now. You save $55 off your entry if you sign up before Cyber Monday. And that's it. Hey, it's a sales time, man. I'm trying to save y'all money, and if you're interested in buying these things, now is the time. That's all I'm trying to say. Now back to the video. Don't feel paralyzed in your 20s. This is the time in your life where you have the least amount of financial commitment. You likely don't have kids, you don't have a mortgage. Though it may feel like you need to rush and get your life figured out right now, I get it, trust me. The reality is 10, 15 years from now, you're gonna have so much more responsibility. You're gonna have so much more on your shoulders than you do right now in your 20s. Now's the time to move cities, launch a business. If that business fails, start a new business. Go all in on your passion. Give yourself that shot that you've wanted your whole life. Take the shot. This is the best time in your life to make those mistakes and to react quickly. And you're able to pivot, you're able to do that and shift without all the responsibilities that come later in life. So if you're watching this and you feel like I'm speaking to you, this is your sign to make the move, make the change, take the initiative to take that leap of faith and give yourself a shot because you deserve that shot. Focus on stacking skills, because in your 20s, the more you can stack, the more prepared and well-rounded you're gonna be in your 30s. My example is when I started YouTube, I was my filmer, I was my editor, I was the camera guy, I was the social media poster, responding to people in my DMs, just everything under the sun that involved the thing I was gonna do, I learned how to do myself. Part 2 of this is I feel far too many people just wanna stay in their lane and like own the thing that they know how to do and not really take ownership of or interest in learning how to actually execute other vital roles in the big thing. So like if you're a graphic designer and you're great at graphic design, why wouldn't you start to leverage other skills based off the people that you network with to help you maybe create a business and start a revenue stream of your own, right? Not just staying in the box, expanding your box, stacking the skills and becoming an improved version of yourself so you know how to do everything. Once you get there, you can start outsourcing some of these things that you now know how to do instead of you not knowing how to do. And you'll just be able to focus on the bigger picture. Treat your body with respect in your 20s so you don't have to pay the consequences in your 30s. Working out is the easy part, at least in my opinion. Throughout my 20s, I had no problem doing it, loved it, was obsessed with it. But what I wasn't good at was setting myself up to be sure I didn't have future problems later. So as far as blood work goes, not once in my 20s did I check blood work. I just avoided it. Anytime people tell me to do it, I'd be like, nah, I'm just not gonna do it. And just kind of not wanting to know and not just checking your blood work and being sure everything is like fine, but also checking your fertility. If you're a guy, be sure you're good in all departments. Semen analysis, blood work, at least the blood work consistently. So you don't have to do the other one that often, but just be sure you are good and you're aware of problems early if you have any. That's at least like relating to me. Now we're healthier than ever, but I have had to do a lot of work in the last year and a half to be sure I'm optimal. So in both departments. Catch the problems before they become bigger and you'll be much better off in your future and your future self will thank you.
I was here listening to my son and all the stuff he says kind of reflects on what I used to think. Like I didn't want to know anything. I was in a role and nothing was going on. But you got to check everything, man. Do it early. I'm 65 and hey, I'm learning all this crap, so take care of your stuff early.
Yeah, I'm forcing him to check it, everything. So maybe if you're in your 20s, you're all good. It's like force your family to check. That's part 2 of this one.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be there to hold your hand through everything. As scary as that might sound, let me explain why that's a good thing. When you carry the responsibility for everything in your life, the failures and the successes, nobody else can take that away from you. Even through failures, you learn, and all those learning curves eventually stack up to being a net positive. So for example, when I started my first gym, that was in my early 20s, I really thought that was my end all, be all, my path to exactly what I wanted to do. And months later, when that gym completely crumbled and fell apart and I had to shut the public doors down, I felt like a complete failure. But the failing and learning and continuing in different avenues and trying different things and just making my money through coaching and focusing on athlete and then getting to reopen my gym later on because I kept taking shots at different things, right? And didn't just like let that failure set in and sink and just make me just drown. That's a perfect example of failures being able to bring you lessons and being able to end up being a net positive. So stop wishing for someone to hold your hand, learn how to be decisive and own your mistakes and your wins. Financial discipline now is gonna save you stress and panic in the future. There's a few parts to this. Number one, get good at saving. Set the goal 5K, set the goal 10K, 25, 50, 100. No matter what you do, once you hit that next marker, wherever you are in the hierarchy of all this, no matter what, live under your means and do not break that savings. I feel like when I first started, that was what I was living by. I was refreshing my account, checking everything every single week, every month, seeing where I was at, and having a really, really close eye on my money to be sure that I was actually making a net profit and saving. I did whatever I could to save money, and I was determined to getting to that 100K. So that's number one. Part two, I'm just gonna briefly touch on this. I think far too many people in very young ages are too invested and they spend too much time thinking about where do I need to put this money to make interest and this and that. That's fine, but don't lose sight of the main thing, which is generating money. Do the things that are gonna generate you your pile before you spend too much time thinking about where to put it and this and that. The more you can put in generating the pile, your efforts are better spent there than just seeing where you can invest, smaller amounts of money. The last thing here would be taxes. Especially, I'm talking to the people in their 20s that are starting businesses. I'm an entrepreneur. I had nobody to really ask questions. This was over a decade ago. I really didn't know what to expect or how to hire people or how to put money away for my taxes. So the first year that I really had a high tax bill come in, because of course I wasn't paying quarterly, because I never wanted to take the time to understand taxes and get myself really set up. I always just wanted to hire someone, tell me how much I owe, and I'll pay it, right? And it's not the worst thing, but I would definitely go back and start getting a better understanding and actually putting my attention to understand how it works and how it needs to work to not catch you off guard. Just to be straight with you guys, I think I paid $50,000 in taxes one year, and the following year it had skyrocketed once I launched Athlete to $657,000 in tax money due. At that time, I thought I was making so much money. I was spending money as well. It was the first time I'd ever kind of, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I started spending, and that caught me off guard. I was able to pay it, learn from that, but that could have gone so much worse. So before you go and start spending the money you're making from your business, taxes and understanding that and how to put that away and how much you're gonna have to put away has to be the number one priority. I encourage you guys to start business. I encourage you to, be an entrepreneur and try different things. And when you see success, just don't let that immediate success beat you. And don't let it be the first thing where you start spending and you think you're on top of the world before you get your taxes sorted. You can enjoy it after you get your taxes sorted. I literally see it all the time with so many people on the internet, so many influencers spending the money, seeing big revenue, and just buying the whatever it is, getting caught off guard. So put away your taxes, then you can spend a little bit after you paid all that, not the other way around. Reputation is gonna take you so much farther than talent alone. We've all known tons of people in our lives that are so talented, gifted, so good at things, but if you don't show up, if you're not able to be reliable, or if you're a person that doesn't follow through on their promises, the person that stays consistent, that you can rely on, that's meeting deadlines before the deadlines are due, that are texting an update even if you're not asking for one, those people will go so much further in life. And it's a very simple concept, but at the same time, I feel like it's completely missed. If you're someone that's really good at what they do, but sometimes you're a little unreliable, the person that is more reliable than you, they're gonna go further than you. So in your 20s, catch yourself. Anytime you're late or you're this, or you catch yourself just becoming that person, don't sit on it and just feel whatever about yourself. Pivot, change, be more prompt. Don't overcommit to things, because you are not invincible. Consistency is gonna beat talent all day, every day, in every field. And too many people in their 20s are too laid back, not prompt. Be reliable, and you'll go far. Temptation is the devil, especially in your 20s. When you're young and you're fresh to going out and being social, it's so easy to get caught up with that and start going out more and more often, start spending your money on drinks and taking people out, buying a round of shots and doing all this stuff and feeling bad the next day. And all of a sudden, you're years into this lifestyle that's not allowing you to spend the time you need to spend building out your future. As easy as it is to enjoy this instant gratification, I promise you, the more you can deflect and stay focused on grinding and putting this away and putting it away and putting it away. I will say I was almost like too far on the spectrum of like, no, because I was so invested in what I was doing and I didn't want to deviate from what I was doing, that maybe I lost out on a little bit of fun in my early years when I was 18 through 22, 23. But guess what? By the time I was 24, 25 and actually had financial freedom, because I overly obsessed with being in this zone, I was able to have more balance and go out and take my friends and enjoy this stuff that I'm talking negatively about after you put in the work. Get the work done, build your financial freedom. Once you're on that path, then you can find out how to incorporate going out in your friendships and having some fun after you've done this part. This part first, this part second. Don't wait to get motivated for something. Motivation comes and goes depending on the day, depending on the weather, depending on so many factors. The only thing you can focus on is action. And when you're making moves, you're gonna slowly gain momentum, but you can't be paralyzed in this like, I'm just gonna wait for it to happen. I feel like I'm kind of repeating myself at this point, to be honest, but action will always overtake motivation. And that's ultimately it. In your 20s, be quick to act, be quick to pivot, be quick to change, be bold, make the move, change locations, cut people out of your life if they're not really bringing anything to your life. Don't be scared for your friend circle to get smaller. Don't waste time in relationships that are bringing you down. Focus on building your future and doing what's best for the future you, so that future you will be proud of yourself. I can sit here and tell you guys, I am very proud of that 22-year-old me, and I just want and hope that you guys can be able to do the same. Even if you're watching this video and you feel like you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s and you're like, man, like I could be doing better at this stuff. This isn't just for 20-year-olds. No matter where you are in your life, start taking some action, start becoming the person that you want to be, regardless of age. Make your future self proud and become